Welcome back, children. I hope you all are doing good. So today we are going to focus on Unit 9 in history, one of the chapters, Freedom Struggle in Tamil Nadu. So before we get into the topic, I just like to recollect the chapters whatever we have seen before. Previous lesson in that we have seen about freedom struggle in India. Gandhian phase we have learnt about. In that we have seen noble strategies of Gandhiji and fearless approach of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. And we have seen many other national leaders with their struggle in an independent country now. So in this lesson, we are going to focus on role of Tamil Nadu in freedom movement. So children, before we get into the topic, I just like to share a few things which tells about a uniqueness of our Tamil culture. So recently we have seen about the archaeological excavations from Keeladi and Sivakalai, which tells about a great origin. So not only that, children, even in a freedom movement in our country, the first opposition for the British rule, it started from our country. It's actually a pride moment for our Tamil people. So we have learned in the previous lesson about the Palayakaras who opposed the British very bravely. The next one we have seen about Pulideva was the first person who bravely opposed the British. Then we also seen about Veeramangai Velu Nachiyar and the sacrifices of Kuyili and Udayal. So all these people, they remain as a role model for our people. Still we are commemorating their sacrifices. So, and also we have seen about Vellore Mutiny, the first opposition, a mass movement against the British, which was started in the year 1806. So even though it was suppressed, there was a milestone. It was a milestone in Indian history. So now, not only in these features we are unique, even in our freedom movement in Tamil Nadu, we are unique. Let's see how we are unique. The first one, we did not fight against the British alone. In the same time, we were fight against the caste discrimination which prevailed in our society. So simultaneously, we opposed the British as well as the caste discrimination which prevailed in our society. So the first topic we are getting to early nationalist stirring in Tamil Nadu. So here by the middle of 19th century, a group of educated middle class emerged in Madras and began to show their interest in public affairs. So in other parts of India, they formed political associations such as Madras Native Association and Madras Mahajana Sabha to articulate their grievances. Now we are getting to Madras Native Association. So this Madras Native Association abbreviation is MNA, Madras Native Association. So it is the earliest organization founded in South India. What is the major objective of Madras Native Association? It's focused on larger public interest. Then it was started by Gasalu Lakshmi Narasu, Srinivasanar and their associates. It was founded in the year 1852. So, who founded MNA? MNA was founded by Gasalu Narasimha Rasu, then Srinivasanar. So, when it was founded in the year 1852. This objective was to promote interest of its members and their focus was reduction of taxes. So the major ambition of the people by the time, they want to reduce the tax. Their main target, they want to fight against the British in reduction of taxes, and also they were fighting against the British because they were giving more importance to Christian missionaries. So they were fighting against that. It drew the attention of the government to the condition and needs of the people. It made the people British to realize that the people are not satisfied with the British rule. So and also through the contribution of Madras Native Association, the Torture Act was abolished. So what is Torture Act in a sense? This Torture Act, it justified the torture of the peasant when they come to collect the taxes. When our peasants, they not able to give the taxes, this Torture Act permitted them to torture and whatever the way they can get their taxes. With the effort taken by Madras Native Association, this Torture Act was abolished. So it is the first victory in our side. So next one, beginning of nationalist press, the Hindu and Swadeshi Mitran. Children, we may think, what's a necessity for nationalist press? So nationalist press, in a sense, the press which owned by our Indians. So what is the sudden need to start our nationalist press? So there is a reason. One of Indians was appointed as the judge of Madras High Court. So who was the person? T. Muthuswamy. T. Muthuswamy was appointed as the judge of Madras High Court. Actually, he was the first Indian judge. This appointment is not accepted by the Europeans because there was an ego clash. So they were questioning, how can we judge by our Indians? Because those people, even though they are living in our own country, they treated as inferiors. So they don't want to be judged by one of our Indians. So all the press, it's totally opposed the appointment of T. Muthuswamy. So because all the press was under the control of European by the time, we Indians never owned even a single press. So by the time this moment, our Indians started to think, why can't we have a press? Why we can't operate one? It's led to the establishment of the newspapers Hindu and Swadeshi Mitran. So what are the newspapers? Hindu and Swadeshi Mitran, which was started in the year 1878. Which year it was started? It was started in the year 1878 by the two people, G. Subramanian and M. Veera Ragavachari, and 4 of his friends. So who founded it? G. Subramanian, Veera Ragavachari and their friends. So by making use of this nationalist newspaper which owned by our Indians, we started to spread the patriotic feeling among our Indians. We inculcated patriotic feeling among our Indians. So after that, G. Subramaniam also started a Tamil nationalist periodical Swadeshi Mitran in 1891, and this became a daily in 1899. Shia Swadeshi Mitran became a daily. It became daily in the year 1899. Then next one, Madras Mahajana Sabha. So Madras Mahajana Sabha was the earliest organization in South India with the clear nationalist objectives. It was founded in the year 1884. So which year it was founded? 1884. What was founded in the year? Madras Mahajana Sabha. So who founded it? Veera Ragavachari, P. Anandacharlu, P. Rangaya and few others. So these people, they founded Madras Mahajana Sabha. So their demands were, they want civil service examinations want to be conducted both in India and England in the same time. So what they want? The civil service examination to be conducted in England and in India at the same time, and abolition of Council of India in London, and reduction of taxes and military expenses. And they also want reduce the taxes and reduce the military expenditure. Okay, and another one notable thing, children. So when Indian National Congress was formed in the year 1885, they adapted most of the demands from Madras Mahajana Sabha. So what were the demands? The demands include simultaneously conduct the civil service examination in England and India, abolition of Council of India in London, reduction of taxes and military expenditure. Then now we will see moderate phase. Provincial association such as Madras Mahajana Sabha led to the formation of all India organization, because Madras Mahajana Sabha, it was in one province. For example, it was in Madras Presidency. So now we people, they joined together and started one single organization for entire India. So this led to the formation of Indian National Congress in the year 1885. What it led to the formation of? It's led to the formation of Indian National Congress in the year 1885. The first session of Indian National Congress was held in the year 1885 at Bombay. So totally 72 members took part in that. In that 72 delegates, 22 members were from Madras. Then the second session of Indian National Congress held in Calcutta in 1866, presided by Dadabhai Naoroji. Who presided it? Presided by Dadabhai Naoroji, which was held in the year 1866 in Calcutta. The third session held at Mackie's Garden now was the Thousand Light. Now it is known as Thousand Lights in Madras. So here the annual Congress meeting was held in the year 1887. Now we'll come to know Swadeshi movement. What is Swadeshi? So Swadeshi means using the things which produce only in our country. Okay, we will use the things which produce only in our country. That is what Swadeshi. What led to the launch of the Swadeshi movement? In a sense, you all know, we have already learnt about partition of Bengal. Bengal was partitioned by Lord Curzon in the year 1905. They told the reason that for administrative purpose they divide Bengal into East Bengal and West Bengal. So actually the reason it is, they don't want to unite Hindus and Muslims, but our Indians, they did not want to be separated. They were totally against the partition of Bengal. In order to oppose the partition of Bengal, they launched Swadeshi movement. What they have launched? They have launched Swadeshi movement in the year 1905, which targeting of using only Indian products and avoiding all the foreign materials. In various parts of India, especially Bengal, Punjab and Maharashtra, popular leaders emerged. They implemented the program of Calcutta Congress, which called upon the nation to promote Swadeshi enterprise, boycott foreign goods and promote national education. What are the targets of Swadeshi movement? Swadeshi enterprise, boycott foreign goods and promote national education. So these were the three major goals of Swadeshi movement. So now we'll see how we Tamil people have responded to Swadeshi movement. So by the time we come to know about the famous leaders of Tamil Nadu, still whom we remember, it's right, we know very well about VOC, V.O. Chidambaranar, who is known as Kappalottiya Tamilan. The next one, V. Chakkarayar and Subramanya Bharati and Surendranath Arya. These people, they become a famous personalities in Tamil Nadu during the Swadeshi movement. They render their full support, absolute support for Swadeshi movement. How we were respond to it? We conducted public meetings. Thousands of people taken part in the meetings. Then moreover there, Tamil was used as a public platform for the first time to mobilize the people. First time Tamil was used on the public platform for to mobilize the people. Subramanya Bharati's patriotic songs were especially important in inculcating patriotic emotions. So we all know when we heard Bharatiya's song, immediately we'll have goosebumps in us, isn't it? For example, the songs Achamillai, Achamillai and all, when we happen to hear the songs, automatically we'll have a patriotic feeling in us. So through his songs, Bharatiyar inculcated patriotic song feeling in the minds of Indians. So many journals were started to propagate Swadeshi ideals. Swadeshi Mitran was one such, and India. Okay, what were the journals? Swadeshi Mitran and India were the prominent journals. So the extremist leader Bipin Chandra Pal, we have seen in the last lesson we have seen about Lal Pal Bal. Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Pal, and Bala Gangadhar Tilak. So, who were known as extremists. Bipin Chandra Pal, he came to India and he started to inculcate patriotic feeling among our Indian youth, and he also tried to get support for Swadeshi movement. Then a milestone in our Tamil history, Swadeshi Steam Navigation Company, which was started by V.O. Chidambaranar. So, one of the enterprising act of Swadeshi was launching of Swadeshi Steam Navigation Company at Thoothukudi by V.O. Chidambaranar. He purchased two ships, Gallia and Lava. What were the two ships? Gallia and Lava, and plied them between Thoothukudi and Colombo. So, it's actually a pride moment for our Tamil people. We happy to say and we are proud to say our Tamil person bought two ships, Gallia and Lava, and he operated between Thoothukudi and Colombo. Because of that only he is known as Kappalotiya Tamilan. The next one, Tirunelveli uprising. So, what is uprising? Some unrestness. So, what happened in Tirunelveli? Let's see. VOC joined with Subramanya Siva, is another one famous personality and also the one who sacrificed his life for the sake of our Tamil people. So, VOC joined with Subramanya Siva in organizing the mill workers in Thoothukudi and Tirunelveli. In 1908, he led a strike in European owned coral mills. It coincided with the release of Bipin Chandra Pal. So, by the time Bipin Chandra Pal was released, so VOC and Subramanya Siva, who organized the public meeting to celebrate the release of Bipin, were arrested. The two leaders were charged with sedition and sentenced to rigorous imprisonments. Initially, VOC was given a sentence of 2 lifetime imprisonments. The people of Tirunelveli and Thoothukudi, they love their leaders, so they came to know they were arrested. So they got severely angry. They got angry and they started to burn the police station, court building and municipal office. It led to the death of 4 people in firing. So VOC was treated harshly in prison and was made to pull the heavy oil press. VOC was made to pull the heavy oil press. Before, they used to have animals in the place to pull the heavy oil press, but in that place VOC was there. So, he sacrificed his entire life for our country. That's the reason, even though we are living in the computerized and modern world, we are commemorating his work. All these people are selfless souls who sacrifice their entire life for the sake of our country. So, to avoid imprisonment, Subramanya Bharati moved to Pondicherry, which was under French rule. So, it doesn't mean that they got fear with the British and they went to Pondicherry. It doesn't mean like that. So, we people are known for our bravery. So, Bharatiyar, he want to continue his job, he want to continue his duty from Pondicherry, and he settled there. He went and he settled there because when the people are in Pondicherry, which was in the French rule, the British people, they cannot arrest him. Bharatiyar, he want to continue his noble job from Pondicherry. Okay, he liked to always inculcate patriotic feeling among our Indians. So, by saying Bharati, and so Aurobindo Ghosh and Subramanianar also went to Pondicherry. The next revolutionary activities in Tamil Nadu. Pondicherry provide the safe haven for the revolutionaries. Many of these revolutionaries in Tamil Nadu were trained in revolutionary activities at India House in London and in Paris. Who were the people? M.P.T. Acharya, V.V. Subramanianar and T.S.S. Rajan were permanent among them. So, who were the people? M.P.T. Acharya, V.V. Subramanianar and T.S.S. Rajan were prominent among them. Revolutionary literature was distributed by them in Madras through Pondicherry. Radical papers such as India, Vijaya, Suryodayam came out of Pondicherry. What are the radical newspapers? India, Vijaya and Suryodayam came out of Pondicherry. Then Ash murder. In 1904, Nilaganda Brahmachari and others started Bharatamada Society, a secret society. So objective was kill the British officials who was turning against the Indians, who was very cruel in nature. So Vanjanathan of Senkotai was influenced by this organization. On 17th June 1911, he shot dead Robert Ashe, collector of Tirunelveli. Ashe was a collector of Tirunelveli. So he was killed by Vanjanathan in Maniachi Junction. After that he don't want to surrender himself in the hands of British, so he committed suicide. He shot himself. So now we are going to focus on Annie Besant and the Home Rule movement. When the national movement was at its ebb, Annie Besant, an Irish lady and the leader of Theosophical Society, started Home Rule League. She started Home Rule League in the year 1916 and carried forward the demands for home rule all over India. So what she was demanded? She demanded home rule all over India. And there were the people who assisted: J.S. Arundale, B.P. Wadia and C.P. Ramasamy. So who were the people assisted? J.S. Arundale, B.P. Wadia and C.P. Ramasamy assisted in this campaign. They demanded home rule with only a nominal allegiance to British Crown. She started the newspapers New India and the Commonweal to carry forward her agenda. She started the newspapers New India and Commonweal to carry forward her agenda. She always marked better bullock carts and freedom than the train delects with subjection. So it means that if we don't have freedom, whatever the luxurious life we have, it's meaningless. Under the Press Act of 1910, Annie Besant was asked to pay a huge amount as a security. She wrote 2 books, How India Wrought for Freedom and India, the Nation, and a pamphlet on self-government. So in this way, she played a role in independence of India. Now children, let's recap whatever we have seen before. First one, we have seen about Madras Native Association. So Madras Native Association, which was founded by Gaslu Lakshmi Narasu. Who was the person? Gaslu Lakshmi Narasu Srinivasanar. So they founded in the year 1852. Who were there in the initial stage? It was consisted of merchants. And what were their target by the time? Reduction of taxes, and through their contribution, what was abolished? Through their contribution, Torture Act was abolished. So it's a first victory in the side of Indians. Now next one, we have seen about nationalist press. So what was our nationalist press? Hindu Swadesi Mitran, who was appointed as the first Indian judge of Madras High Court, T. Muthuswamy. So which year he was appointed? He was appointed in the year 1877. Okay, who did not like this? No Europeans liked that. So it made the people to think that we need a press which run by our Indians. So because of that only, it's led to the establishment of the newspaper, the Hindu. Hindu newspaper was started in the year 1878 by G. Subramanian and Veera Ragavachari. It's led to the another newspaper which is known as, first actually it was a periodical, Swadesi Mitran. Then later Swadesi Mitran became daily in the year 1899. Who started it? G. Subramaniam. Then Madras Mahajana Sabha. It's an early organization which was founded in the year 1884 by whom? Veera Ragavachari, Anandacharlu, Rangayya. Most of the demands of Madras Mahajana Sabha was accepted by Indian National Congress. What was their demand? The first one, they want civil service examinations to be conducted in England and India simultaneously, abolition of Council of India in London, then reduction of taxes and military expenditure. Then we have seen about moderate phase. In that we have seen is Indian National Congress, which was founded in the year 1885. Then Swadeshi movement. Swadeshi movement was started in the year 1905. What's the reason behind it? Our people of India, they did not like the partition of Bengal. They don't want to divide themselves as per religion. Against that, in order to show their opposition, they started Swadeshi movement in the year 1905. What were the objectives of Swadeshi movement? Swadeshi enterprise, boycott foreign goods, promote national education. Then when we talk about response in Tamil Nadu, who were the permanent leaders, will keep in mind V.O. Sidambaranar, V. Chakarayar, Subramanya Bharati and Surendranath Arya. So these people, they spend their entire life for the sake of our country. So Bharatiya inculcated patriotic feeling through his songs. So another one, Swadeshi Navigation Company was started by VOC in Thoothukudi. So what were the names of the two ships? Gallia and Lava. Where it's operated? It's operated between Thoothukudi and Colombo. So Tirunelveli uprising. What led to the uprising in Tirunelveli? So arrest of VOC and Subramanya Siva. It's led to the uprising in Tirunelveli. Okay, so who was severely punished? VOC was severely punished and he was made to pull heavy oil press. So because of that only he is known as Chekkilutha Semmal. So children, so far we have seen how our Tamil people respond to Swadeshi movement. So in the next part of the lesson, we are going to see about non-Brahmin movements and the other freedom fighters who sacrificed their life for the sake of our country. So thank you children, we'll meet you in the next class.